I mean,
yeah.
What do you say?
Well, it is much more serious, I think, than anybody anticipated, Rick. And, you know, the DA tells us that if he's convicted, the sentence could range from probation to time in state prison. Now, state prison, where most of the violent offenders go. We're not talking about just county jail here. So it depends on what happens in terms of this case, what kind of plea he enters, if he is convicted, whether people will forgive him, whether he can bounce back. And let me tell you this, if he is convicted, Rick, that makes him eligible for a first strike in California's 3-strike law. This is very serious. If he goes on to get 2 more strikes in his life, that's 25 years to life.
Let me ask Ashley this question then, since you just raised it. Is this a case, you follow cases like this all the time, given that he's a public figure, he's going to have to cop to something, isn't he? I mean, this is not something he's going to walk away from.
You know, I'm not going to say that he's going to be able to cop to this. This is extraordinarily serious.
I mean, at the very least. In other words, it's not a case you just go in, you say, oh, they got it all wrong. I mean, in the past, comparing this to other cases that you've seen, this is very convictable at the very least, isn't it?
You bet. Well, because again of the corroboration in this case, and not only that, the bruises and the injuries that she suffered also corroborate exact moments in her story that she
may not testify against him. Does that matter?
Doesn't matter. This is all of this stuff is on the record. She told all of this to the police. It exists. And not only that, witnesses who have responded to this, who called 911, also corroborate all this. This doesn't matter if Rihanna comes forward. She could be in love with him right now. They could prosecute and put him away for this.
Yeah, one more thing. As a matter of fact, this is it. Let's go to MySpace. Man, everybody's getting in on this conversation. I lost my sister to domestic violence, writes this viewer. I'm getting chills reading this. And it's sad that women realize the danger they're in and do nothing about it until it's too late. That's obviously a stunning comment. He lost his sister to domestic violence. Brooke, back to you. There's talk, and you know, you don't want to get into the gossip of this. We're CNN, but still, there's talk that she's going to go back to him and all that jazz. And one, just as a guy, as a human being, you can't help but wonder why. And there's talk also that there's some people who know her who are going to try and knock some sense into her. What are you hearing about this?
Of course. Well, you know, it's not uncommon for a victim or an alleged victim of domestic abuse to go back to reconcile with her abuser. But yeah, People Magazine reports that they have reunited, that they spent time in Miami Beach last weekend, stayed at Sean P. Diddy Combs' mansion. We reached out to Diddy, no comment there. We reached out to Brown, no comment there about that. And Rihanna's people just tell us, you know, hey, refer to her statement that she's strong and appreciates the support. But the question is, why, like you say? But it does happen.
All right, here's what we're going to do. There's a lot of interest in this, obviously. So go to CNN.com/Rick Sanchez. That's our website, my blog. And we're going to put this whole document there so you can read it for yourself if you're interested in getting some of the nuances of it. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just tell you one more thing really quickly. I spoke with a former prosecutor who practiced for 20 years, and he said this. With something this serious and this kind of detail, there is no prosecutor out there who wants to see a deal go down where this person wouldn't at least see some time behind bars. And can I also add, there are reports out there at this point that widely circulated photo we've all seen of Rihanna's face showing contusions and some blood actually is much after the fact, and that the police are in custody of some more serious photos that show far more serious damage.
Look at those bruises. Our thanks to TMZ, by the way, for some of those pictures that we just now sharing with you. We had them 2 weeks ago and chose not to use them until this became a formal case. You guys are the best. Brooke, Ash, my thanks to you.
Sure.